It's all just mystery.
Yeah, so what it means...
And Pyromancers quit.
Yeah.
So,
so no one's going
who are you even writing it for anymore? So we have new information about the Chuckler.
Fantastic.
Primus Bolvar dialogue. Zovaal was the Arbiter. What a big surprise. What a big surprise. And I think it's interesting because I wonder if Blizzard thought that this would be like a big cool reveal. But it's like they actually foreshadowed it so much. Everyone's like, well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Hole in chest. Thing in that. Put one in, you know. Yeah, so anyway, right. So Bolvar, Primus, what we witnessed in the Arbiter's chamber, it was beyond mortal understanding. Again, I take issue with that line. It's absolutely not beyond mortal understanding. Especially when it's this weird thing where, as players of the game, we are so far ahead of how Blizzard writes our character that makes us feel disconnected from the story.
Yeah.
Just something to think about. So it's like totally not beyond mortal understanding, my dude. Now, Primus. Once Zovaal stood among us as Arbiter, yet he defied the will of the first ones and sought to unmake the balance of the cosmos. For his crimes, he stripped our brother of his power and bound him to the maw. It was I who scribed the runes of domination upon his flesh. We used Zovaal's anima to construct a new Arbiter, one that would be dispassionate and just. I should have realized that he would never stop fighting to reclaim his power and see his schemes through to the bitter end. Yeah, man. So Bolvar asks what his next move is. Primus. Zovaal pursues the secrets locked within the sepulchre. Should he find the knowledge he seeks, all you know will be undone. To which I just kind of say, literally, what do you mean? Is it going to be the final patch of this expansion that we actually know what the primary villain wants to do? Because you can handwave, he's going to unmake creation. But it's like, we don't know what that means. We don't really know what it means, especially because Azeroth is tied into it, but we still don't understand how Azeroth tied into it, really. Yeah. It's all just like speculation, mystery stuff. But it's just that thing for me where it's like, we needed to know way more of this way earlier. Way earlier. And I actually think for a bunch of players, if this was stuff you found out in 9.0, as you're leveling up, it would have made the story more engaging because you would have understood a bit more about Zovaal. Yeah. So yes, the Primus 4 sigils represent the renewed hope of the Covenants. What does that mean? What does that literally mean? I will use them to forge a key, though I must find something to replace the Arbiter sigil. I mean, why? Why did the sigils make a key? What are the sigils? How are they important? What does it all mean? Is it all just, yes, we have made 4 new MacGuffins to replace the MacGuffins. I will now turn these MacGuffins into a MacGuffin, which will take us to somewhere. And it's just that thing where it's like, but man, what does this mean to us? What does this mean?
Literally what?
It's just MacGuffins. And it's like, yeah, right, things come in sets of 5. You've done a whole bunch of Il'gynoth whispers about that. Yeah. But 5 MacGuffins to light the way and open the MacGuffin of the Pathmaster's Path MacGuffin. It's like it's still not interesting.
Yeah, you've also given us 5 MacGuffins multiple times in a row now. So it's like, because, I mean, the original Il'gynoth stuff was all, the Pillars of Eternity.
Creation,
that's a video game. Yeah, the Pillars of Creation. Because that was them, and then there's the World Trees, and there's all these things. And I think that if it feels like the mysteries, but like it actually feels like the end of the mystery is on, like it is that old prank of here's $1 on a string and someone's around the corner pulling the string and we're just chasing after this answer like, but we can see the string been pulled. And whenever we're running, we're not going to get to it and go, finally, we have the $. We're going to go, finally, we found the bastard who's been pulling this $, around, making us run around. We're going to sock him in the head. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Whereas, can we just please have some sort of anything going on? Please. It's... So, he sought to unmake the balance of the cosmos. That doesn't mean anything.
No.
I mean, it means...
We don't understand any of the... It's all just mystery.
Yeah, so what it means...
And Pyromancers quit.
Yeah.
So,
so no one's going to...
Who are you even writing it for anymore?
Yeah, so, that means, basically, the only thing that could mean on that scale that matters to players is everything going drastically wrong, like cataclysmic, apocalyptic end of everything. Because that's what all of that means, culturally. If someone goes to unmake the balance of the cosmos, they're not going to be like, you know what, we actually think it's just we're going to unmake the balance of the cosmos because it's a little bit too hot in Stranglethorn Vale. We're going to drop the temperature by a couple degrees. There you go. It's off balance. It's literally always, this is going to be the end of the world. This is going to be the end of creation as we know it. So it's a literal, like, completely, like, meta level threat.
Yeah, and we have
no idea what it actually means.
Yeah, and I think about, say, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Right? That is something where it is a story. There is a progression of events. There is an understanding. Where, you know, if somebody ends up just being like, hey, fucking Ragnarok's going to happen, and that's something that we as people in Azeroth have a cultural understanding of, then we're like, I mean, imagine for, like, you know, maybe for an analogy, right? It's like sort of a Christian analogy, and, you know, you find out that, okay, that stuff in the Book of Revelations, it's kind of happening now.
Yep.
Well, it's like, oh, wow, we have the sort of theological understanding of this. This is now really big, and we understand what this end of the world means. Whereas with this, it's just, we're going to unmake creation, stop the unfair cycle of life and death. But to most people, are just like, what's that mean? Why?
Yeah.
How? Can I explain? So people don't understand the chess pieces in the game.
Yeah.
So it just looks like a board where shit's moving around, but they don't actually know the rules that dictate things moving around the board or what the pieces even do. Because it feels... See, this is not made up on the fly by Blizzard, but it feels like it's made up on the fly because they're being so mysterious that players don't really have a... people don't have a great way to understand it. They're making their lore oddly impenetrable for something like an MMO that is giving its story such low screen time as World of Warcraft does, as compared to some other MMOs, like perhaps, I mean, for the ones that I've played, FF14 and SWTOR, and I played a bit of ESO, maybe it does the narrative better as well. But they really need to have a think there. Like, if they want to tell big narratives like this, they really need to change their storytelling in-game.
Definitely.
I would say, take the lessons of Legion, make it simple, with some things that are small and about characters, like Velen and his son, but a lot of just very big things. Where, because of the big things, you know, it's like, oh shit, look where the DMs, you know, look at the crazy thing that's happening in this world that I'm in. I'm super excited. Where's this start happening less for here?